As we continue to reflect on the disastrous first 100 days in this new Trump administration, one of the things that we cannot forget to talk about is how this is probably the most corrupt administration that our country has ever seen. I mean, Donald Trump held a Tesla sales event on the White House lawn. Tesla stock was crashing because Elon Musk is an unpopular asshole who was trying to burn down our government from the inside out. And Donald Trump held a sales event for his company at the White House. I mean, could you get any more corrupt than that? I mean, maybe you actually could. Because 2 days before Donald Trump got inaugurated as the 47th president, Donald Trump launched a meme coin. And if you don't understand cryptocurrency, that is fine. Just think of this meme coin as kind of like a stock, except there's no company on the other side of that stock, and therefore there's no real reason to hold the stock. But Donald Trump launched this 2 days before inauguration, and he used it as a way to rip off a ton of his supporters. Because as we know, many people in the MAGA cult will do whatever Donald Trump says, and they wanted to get in on this action, and that's exactly what they tried to do. And we're not talking about peanuts here, guys. We're talking about millions upon millions of dollars. Here's an analyst from a podcast called Prof G, and he explains just the type of money that we're actually talking about here. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
Let's look back to a few months ago when the coin was first launched. You look at the on-chain data and you will find that there were 31 early traders who made a profit of almost $700 million trading this coin. And you think, boy, that sounds pretty corrupt. But then you see the 800,000 other investors who lost cumulatively more than $2 billion. And this is what we have to remember about meme coins, and this is why this is so dark. This is a zero-sum game. For every winner, there is a loser. In fact, more often than not, thousands of losers. And, you know, the losers, I hate to say it, are the ones who are dumb enough to buy into this shit. And that's also what I find so disturbing about this. It's the fact that the Trump organization actually knows that. They know that there is a certain percentage of their fan base that is dumb enough to do whatever they tell them to do, to jump off a cliff if Trump demands it. Not the whole fan base, but certainly a percentage of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I just want you guys to understand that Trump and his entities and his family, they own 80% of the supply. Which means since they were early adopters, since they own it, they could make the announcement that, oh, we're going to launch this meme coin, and that means they are going to receive bigger returns than anybody else. And as you can see there, 800,000 investors lost a total of $2 billion. That is insane. And not only do they make money because people are buying this coin and making the value of it go up, but Donald Trump also profits on the transactions fees, which means anytime anybody trades in this currency, there's a small piece of that transaction that comes right off the top for Donald Trump. So in other words, it's just one big grift, which shouldn't be surprising to anybody, I guess, but now it is coming from the president of the United States. And now the grift is only getting worse, because I think it was just last week, Donald Trump announced that he was going to hold a private dinner for 220 holders of this cryptocurrency. Here's Nicole Wallace explaining this new announcement here.
Donald Trump is offering exclusive access to those willing to pay up and buy into his meme coin. Trump offered the top 220 investors in the coin a seat at the private dinner at his golf club in Virginia. The coin is a business entity linked to Trump, who owns a large tranche of the coins, meaning the president personally profits every time the price or value increases, at least on paper. Trump and his business partners also collect fees when the coins are traded, a windfall that amounted to nearly $100 million in the weeks after the coin debuted in January. Now, when news of the dinner invitation spread on social media, the meme coin's price surged more than 70%. Corey Frayer, who oversaw crypto policy for the SEC during the Biden years, said this, quote, "This is really incredible. They are making the pay-to-play deal explicit."
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They are making the pay-to-play deal explicit. And you have a Donald Trump, the president of the United States, launched his own meme coin 2 days before inauguration and is making millions upon millions of dollars, probably because of the status of the office, right? Do you think people would be as involved in this cryptocurrency scheme or trying to buy the cryptocurrency if Donald Trump wasn't president? I mean, sure, it would probably be popular, but Donald Trump is now profiting off the office of the president. I mean, it's an impeachable offense, people. This should not be going on in the United States of America. I mean, this is corruption at its core. Just imagine if Joe Biden opened up a Swiss bank account, except there was no regulations around it. It was kind of private. The only person who could see money going in and out of that bank account was Joe Biden. I mean, conservatives would lose their shit, and rightfully so. Because what we have here is basically a private bank account that only Donald Trump can see, which means anybody can file this man money, and we would have absolutely no idea about it. It is insane. How is this happening in the United States of America? I thought we were better than this. And then he went out and announced that for the top 25 wallets, well, you're going to get an even more exclusive experience, which of course just incentivizes people to try to buy as many coins as they possibly can so they can try to get some face time with the president of the United States.
And that the invitation came with very clear instructions. From now until mid-May, supporters are encouraged to, quote, hold as much Trump coin as they can. The more they hold and the longer they hold it, the higher their ranking and the better their chances of meeting the president himself. The dinner also includes a special reception for the top 25 wallets. That basically means holders. And the price spike that followed that announcement now brings the value of Trump's coin in circulation to $2.7 billion.
A meme coin worth $2.7 billion that has absolutely no utility at all. The only thing that this meme coin is good for is buying influence with Donald Trump, right? And I want you to think about this, really, because just think about all of the bad incentives that this actually sets up. And because we really have no insight into who is funneling money into these wallets that goes directly to Donald Trump, just think about all of the different scenarios that, people could just try to funnel money to Donald Trump so they could try to get some regulations changed. Maybe they want some tariff relief. Who knows? I mean, there are just a whole bunch of things that you can think about as to how this is, corruption that we should not be seeing at all in the United States of America, and especially from the president of the United States. I mean, we have an administration who is rolling back all of these different cryptocurrency regulations. Now you've got a president who is launching his own meme coin, who is scamming his followers out of millions upon millions of dollars. I mean, what type of signal does that send to the crypto market? Do you think people are going to be afraid of trying to launch their own meme coin and scamming people out of their hard-earned money? I mean, the president of the United States is doing it, guys. It should be okay, right? And they're rolling back the regulations, so nobody should really care, right? It's going to have so many downstream impacts that we can't even see yet, which is just like everything else that we have seen with this administration. Everything is a disaster. And just listen to this guy explain why this pay-to-play is so bad.
It's straightforward pay-to-play. You are putting money directly into the president's pocket in exchange for access to the president. And I think it's important to overlay this with the tariff war that's going on right now. Because what is the most important thing you can get if you are a business person? It's direct access to the president. Because if you can get an exemption from the tariffs for a country that you import from, or a particular category of goods that your business relies upon, that's worth millions, hundreds of millions of dollars potentially. So that's what it is, an exchange of money for access to the president to potentially get a favor that's worth potentially hundreds of millions of dollars to you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Somebody who needs tariff relief would be more than incentivized to try to go get as much Trump coin as they can, enriching Donald Trump so they can try to get some face time with Donald Trump. And we're not just talking about tariffs. Like I said before, what about regulations. What if somebody needs some rule overturned in some sort of regulatory body? Maybe they want to buy some FaceTime with Donald Trump and try to work him over, trying to soften him. Or maybe you've got an investigation open against you. Maybe you can funnel money to Donald Trump and maybe he'll drop the investigation. Do you see how many different scenarios that we can think of? This could just be so bad for our country. When you have a president of the United States who is basically allowing anybody and everybody to funnel him money to try to get some FaceTime with the president. I just cannot believe that this is happening in the United States of America. We have a president of the United States who not only launched this meme coin, but then he used it to rip off a ton of his own supporters. Billions of dollars. I don't even know what to say. And you could, these scenarios could get even darker, right, guys? What if Putin wanted to funnel money into one of these, or Donald Trump's meme coin, and says, oh, well, I can give you X amount of dollars. I can funnel it to you in this, this black market called the Trump meme coin. And maybe you just stop funding Ukraine. Maybe you withdraw support in these different areas. Maybe you just stop sharing intelligence. I mean, the examples are countless, right? This should not be happening in the United States, even for somebody like me or you, but definitely because this is the president of the United States. This dude should be impeached. This is criminal behavior. He is allowing people to buy influence to the office of the president. It's despicable. And it's something that we need to continue to shed a light on, because this is one of the cornerstones of the Trump administration. The corruption is all over the place. He is the most corrupt president that we have probably ever seen, especially in our lifetime. But as far as the country goes, probably the most corrupt administration that our country has ever seen. And that's saying something, because we had people like Nixon, who probably wouldn't even hold a candle to somebody like Donald Trump. It's all one big grift. Donald Trump is the biggest con man of all time, and he is the president of the United States. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that adequately pushes back against the right-wing media ecosystem that would just likely cover this kind of crap up for Donald Trump on a daily basis. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. It is free. And if you guys want to see how Donald Trump is underwater on nearly every single issue as we cross over this 100-day mark, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.